Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is the newest iteration in the famous Mission Impossible franchise headed by Tom Cruise. And that's really all you need to know about this movie. I thought about giving a general synopsis, but you probably know what this movie is generally about at this point. You know, you don't have the plot nitty-gritty details, but they're going to be amazing stunts. It's Tom Cruise. It's going to be a huge summer blockbuster. And I gotta say that this movie is truly a cinema-going experience. Tom Cruise has done it again. You know, last year we had Top Gun Maverick, which was arguably the movie of 2022. And I'm not saying that Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is going to be the movie of 2023, but it's definitely in my top 3 at this point. I went to a packed theater to go see this movie, and everyone was in shock and awe whenever he did some of these action set pieces. You know, the big one where he's, riding a motorcycle off of a mountain. You see it in the trailer. The entire theater was just dead quiet. The music drowns out for a sec, and you could just feel everyone, or you could hear everyone holding their breath. It's a movie truly made for the biggest screen possible. One of the biggest pluses of this movie is the action. The stunts that they pull off here are truly insane. Tom Cruise is a man with a death wish. You know, you have that bike stunt that you see in the trailer, but along with that, you have tons of other stuff that you don't even know is coming. This guy is an absolute madman. I was watching a behind the scenes clip this morning about the train sequence in this movie, which is also kind of bonkers whenever you watch it. And it turns out they crashed an actual train, and there is some controversy involved with what bridge they were going to blow up. Originally, they wanted to blow up this bridge from World War II. World government said no, I forget which one. I think it was Switzerland, but anyway, a world government basically said, no, you're not going to blow up our World War II era bridge. But they did an insane train sequence in this film as well, and I don't know what it is with Hollywood and train sequences. I think that this is like the third movie that we're getting a train sequence here, but this was even filmed in the same area where Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny did their train scene. But anyway, it's a Tom Cruise movie. The stunts are some of the best parts. You know, whenever you go see a Tom Cruise film, you're gonna get quality in the action department. And this movie really shows the difference in blockbusters that there can be. You know, whenever I was sitting in the theater, I was comparing this film with Dial of Destiny, where the action scenes that they do are clearly CGI. They don't look that great. But this film, you can tell that everything is in camera. And whenever it isn't, it's the visual effects that are the most important that you don't know are there. Everything looks real. And that's really all that you can ask for as an audience member. Whenever I was watching Indiana Jones, there was never a doubt that what I was watching was fake. And this movie, even whenever there was things that were fake, they definitely had CGI and visual effects in this movie, but I never caught on to it because so much of it is real and in camera, and Tom Cruise has built a reputation for himself and this franchise that what you see is what you get in the movie theater. On that same note of Tom Cruise, he's great in the movie. He knows the character of Ethan Hunt in and out at this point. He's a fantastic international spy. He's not winning any Oscars for this movie, but he does what he needs to do. He's a very compelling character who has a deep-rooted hatred for our, secondary antagonists in the movie. I don't want to give away any spoilers to who the main antagonist is, but for our sort of secondary antagonist, you can tell that he wants to kill this guy. And the entire supporting cast is great here. I love seeing Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson, the whole bunch here. But Hayley Atwell is particularly great in this movie. She's an addition to this franchise, and she has great chemistry with Tom Cruise. You're sold on her being this sort of thief, rogue kind of person. She's not like a super spy like everyone else in the movie. So, she's a little rough around the edges, but she completely sold it. It's my favorite performance from her, honestly. She really killed it, and it's too bad. I think they're ending it after Dead Reckoning Part 2, because I would definitely want to see more of this character. And with that in mind, I'm not ready for this franchise to end. It has been one of the most exciting action franchises in my adulthood. The first Mission Impossible is good, but it's from almost 30 years ago now. The second Mission Impossible, we can all agree, trash. Mission Impossible 3 got them on the straight and narrow, but the last several Mission Impossible movies, straight up just some of the best action movies ever made. Ghost Protocol, you instantly think of that sequence on the Burj Khalifa. with Rogue Nation. Again, another great iteration of the franchise. The last one, Fallout, was the best of the bunch in my opinion, and now this one just unseated that one as my favorite Mission Impossible movie. They are running on a high. I wish Tom Cruise wasn't 60 because this franchise lives and breathes with him. You know, whenever he doesn't want to do it anymore is whenever they're going to be done. And they rebooted in 20 years. With Tom Cruise being the cynical 80-year-old old man coming in for one last heist or mission, whatever. But I love this franchise. If you've loved any of the movies in this franchise at this point, you're going to love this movie. Definitely go see it. There are some things that I didn't love about this movie. Particularly, there are 2 cop characters in this, and I mean, the performers are fine in the movie. They're good. They're played by 2 great actors. But they just didn't feel necessary, in my opinion. I guess we got to see the full story in part 2 for me to to get on board with them, because they were a fun side character, but I just found them getting in the way. I don't know. I didn't think that they were particularly necessary. Anytime they were on screen, I was like, why are you even here at this point? There are a couple action sequences. This is super nitpicky of me, where it's like very convenient that there's an empty street, or I guess empty canal in Venice at night. You know, like, in a major city, it's very rare that you're the only person on a street corner, let alone, like, a bridge on a canal in Venice, Italy. Like, didn't seem very likely to me. Took me out of the movie a little bit, but that was just for, like, 2 seconds. And whenever it comes to the primary antagonist of this movie, I don't want to get into spoilers. This is going to be hard to talk about. But whenever it comes to the primary antagonist of this movie, it kind of felt like any sort of action movie villain that we're getting right now, you know? Which, I mean, whenever it comes to this villain, there's never been a more realistic time to have something like this in an action movie. Have that as the main villain, because people have it at the top of their mind. Wow. That probably means nothing to you if you don't know what the villain of this movie is. But again, just go see it. I thought it was a little silly, but also it could kind of be realistic depending on your viewpoint. The last thing that I have to say about this movie is whenever you are looking at the length time, it's nearly 3 hours. It flew by for me. It just goes to show that there are short movies that can feel like forever if they aren't good, and long movies that feel like they're shorter if they're actually really good and keep you engaged. This is a fantastic first part in the Dead Reckoning, I guess, duology for this franchise, and it really does feel like a movie in and of itself that doesn't feel incomplete. It leaves you off on a great cliffhanger, or I guess a great tee-up for the part 2 coming out next summer. I can't wait. They absolutely crushed it. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. Go see it if you have the chance. But that's everything that I have to say about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Have you seen it? Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the movie. Leave this video a like. It really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for more. Thanks.